you guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. Baby, we got a lot to talk about it. It seems like Fox Force 4 has some issues with Miss Garcelle Bouvier and the people ain't here for it. So this might be a pretty long video, but I don't think it is. I'm working on my long-windedness. But we're going to talk about Lisa Rinna seemingly blaming her raging out or her outburst on her grieving. Then we're going to talk about these 3 sneak peeks that had everybody in their feelings that they released today about the upcoming episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills this weekend. This week on Wednesday. And then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. So let's get into it. So like I said, you guys, we're going to start off with Lisa Rinna seemingly apologizing for her outburst that she had about a few days ago pertaining to Garcelle and about the whole racism, if you fight with Garcelle, and then to go watch Dubai, and then the Dubai girls had to collect her and gather Lisa Rinna and drag her by her wig. But this is what she had to say. She posted this today, July the 4th, just a few hours ago, and it states, "Grief never ends, but it changes. It is a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love. Elizabeth I." And so she captioned it. I have had a really rough time of it, and I think you've seen how hard this has hit me. I am sorry if I ragged on you about you. It really has nothing to do with any of you. I've never thought I would feel this way. I really thought grief would be about sadness and pain, but it's so much more. I'm really struggling. I just never thought it would feel like this, but here it is. Losing my mom has really hit me hard. Thank you for your patience with me. I know it's not easy to have warm fuzzies for me right now, but I'll get through this and hopefully come out on the other side stronger and better. Thank you for your support and your love. I so appreciate it. So I have 2 things to say about this. The first one is she's right. Grief is forever changing. And as someone who's felt grief on a small scale, and when I say small, like, the passing of animals and things of that nature, I've had major losses, but when they happened, I was either really young or like in my teen years. So like processing it was a lot different than the age that I am now. And it hits different as you get older. I know that for a fact. But I do know grief is different for everybody. So, people go through different stages. There's anger, there's frustration, there's sadness, there's denial. So I can give Lisa Rinna that. I've also had friends that have lost their parents, that has lost a father or a mother, and have had amazing relationships with those people when they were here. So they do explain to me that like some days you're having a good day. You're accepting it. You can feel the presence of your family members. And then on other days, it's like the world is just gray and dark and it's bleak and you don't know how you're going to make it. So I can give Lisa Rinna that grief is hard. And it seems like Lisa Rinna and Lois really did have a great relationship. And it seems like Lisa did love her mom dearly. So I do believe that she's having a hard time. So I'll give her a sense of grace in that aspect. But number 2, with me being critical, I find this to be a cop-out. Because there was no reason for you to add your 2 cents in this situation. And then it begs to differ that why was Garcelle your target and nobody else? Why wasn't it Sutton or Kathy or Crystal or any of the other ladies? Why was it specifically Garcelle? And this was a situation that had nothing to do with you, where you just found yourself trying to champion Diana and have her back. That had nothing to do with Lisa Rinna, but Lisa Rinna put her foot in her mouth. And then to go back and forth seemingly with the ladies of Dubai, and then to be reposting people saying she's not racist. People just are misinterpreting what she's saying. It's like, you did this, Lisa Rinna. Nobody told you to do this. And that's why I wholeheartedly believe that you only did this because you felt some type of way that you weren't shown in the past 3 episodes. Like, you really didn't have any airtime, and you got scared that people were forgetting about you. So you decided to get on the internet and put your foot in your mouth. But I do think what prompted this was someone either tapped you on the shoulder at the network and told you, clear this up, or find a way to clear this up before we clear it up. Because if we clear it up, sis, it's probably going to be a demotion or a termination. So I think this is what we're getting from Lisa Rinna. But like I said, I can give her grace in the aspect of, it is hard no matter what age you are when you lose your mom. Like, nobody wants to lose their parent, especially if they have a great relationship with them. So I can give her grace in that aspect. But if this is her way of apologizing, it's not good enough. It really isn't. And that's just, we're going to call a spade a spade. It's not. And she could do way better than this if she was genuinely sorry. So let's get into these sneak peeks that had the internet on fire, you guys. Like, when I tell you, you hit the hashtag RHOBH, Dorit, Kyle, and Erika are getting flamed to death right now. I mean, people are angry, pissed off right now about now. And I know when this episode airs, it's going to be even worse on July the 6th for them this coming Wednesday. So it pops off this way. So the first sneak peek is from the Bravo Life, or at the Bravo Life _. And it goes, Kyle says Sutton is lying about having 2 miscarriages. So I'll post a screenshot. Y'all know if I could feed in the clip, I would. But y'all know Bravo will block a video with the quickness. And in this clip, we have Diana, Sutton, and Kyle still talking after Sutton has called Diana soulless, which I agree. And Sutton is saying, you know, I know what it's like to have a miscarriage. I had 2. Well, Kyle, being a lush and a sloppy drunk, is like, wait, I have to call BS. You never told me this. I don't believe you here. So Kyle basically says she didn't believe that Sutton had 2 miscarriages. That actually offends and hurts Sutton. And I felt bad for Sutton in that moment, but for me, I was more upset with how aggressive Kyle was being in this clip. She kept pushing Sutton back. Sutton was trying to get up. She kept grabbing Sutton because Sutton started crying. And I'm just like, Kyle, stop touching her. Stop putting your hands on her. You already offended the lady by telling her that you don't believe that she had 2 miscarriages. And now you're sitting here like pushing her arm back, trying to hold her in place and trying to reprimand her, and you're doing too much. And then Diana gonna be like, we reached a new low. Girl, you the pits of hell, so shut up. So then the sneak peek that really set all of this off, and this is coming from OMFG Reality, was the sneak peek of Erika being cringy with Oliver and Jax, Garcelle's son. So the party is wrapping up. Garcelle and her family are departing and about to head home. Oliver, which is Garcelle's oldest son, he is 31. Erika's like 48 or 49, but she's hitting on him. I think Oliver is actually married, or I think he is still with the mother of his son. So Erika was doing too much, and she's drunk. It seems like in that art clip, because I watched it twice, it seems like Oliver was like rejecting her, but trying to be nice about it. And she even was like, oh my God, he shut me down, laughing. And he was like getting up to leave to go with his mom. So then Jax comes back in and he's grabbing Garcelle's flowers. I don't know what happened, but he didn't really say anything. And then Erika tells him to get the F out of here. His eyes get big, like he can't believe she just said that to him. Crystal, being an actual adult in this moment, gets up and she like, you know, she was being a real responsible adult, gets up, puts her hand on Jax's back, and escorts him out of the party to like Garcelle. And I don't know, I think a lot of people were saying that she had said something to him to like comfort him, but I couldn't hear anything. And I watched the clip like at least 2 times, but I didn't see any subtitles or anything that she like, no voiceovers to hear what she said to him. So he walks out with his brother and with his other twin, and he's like, bro, I just got violated. And his brother's like, what? He was like, she just told me to get the F out of here. So then Garcelle hears it, and she's like, what happened? And he's like, well, Erika just told me to get the F out. And you can tell that, like, I think he thought it was, you know, like when you're in that age where you're just kind of shocked, but it's like, it's slightly funny, but it's also like, dang, like I just got played for no reason. Like I didn't even say nothing to her. So Garcelle, being a mom, she walks back in there and she was like, Erika, don't tell my son to get the F out of here. You really hurt Jax's feelings. So in that moment, I think Garcelle could tell that Erika was just really twisted and faded, and like she wasn't gonna get anywhere with her. And then Erika immediately was like, no, his feelings are hurt. She was like, come back. And I don't think Erika meant to be offensive, but she was offensive. Like even if you don't think you're being offensive and you still offend somebody, it technically you were being offensive, even though you weren't trying to be. And in that moment when Erika knew that she hurt his feelings, she did seem like she was remorseful and trying to be like, oh man, like, no, I ain't mean it that way. But she crossed the line. We have Dorit in her confessional talking about she feels sick to her stomach. And like, oh my God, like she's repulsed by Erika's behavior. But she didn't check Erika in that moment. Erika is just being a sloppy drunk. And it's just kind of like, Erika, like this is not a good look. It's not cute. And you know, in the beginning it was kind of funny because y'all were on vacation, and you know, on vacation it's okay to let your hair down and have a good time, but now you're back in the real world, back in California. Like, I'm gonna need you to hold your liquor or know your limit. And maybe Erika knows, like, I mean, I would hope Erika knows her limit. It just seems like this is gonna be her storyline. I'm a drunk, or I like to get messed up at parties. And then she's doing too much. She's really doing too much. So the next clip is of Mauricio, Kyle, Dorit, and PK at Kyle's and Mauricio's house, sitting down talking about the event. And they're basically like laughing off what Erika did. Kyle's like, oh my God, did y'all hear what Erika said? She told Jax to get the F out. Mauricio's like, oh, I'm glad she did that. Like laughing about it. Like, he said, oh, I think it's great that she did that. And he laughs about it. PK is laughing about saying, like, you know, you get 2 times where you can, like, go off on somebody. And then Dorit's like, you know, well, I can give her a big thing of grace because, you know, she's not like this all the time. And she wasn't really talking to my kids. And they just thought it was funny. They thought it was funny. And that's what really pissed people off, because everyone's like, so y'all think it's funny that Erika cussed out a 14-year-old child that seemingly did nothing. Like, he didn't do anything other than walk in there and pick up flowers. And then what really frustrated people is, like, we know for a fact, had Erika said something to Portia, who is, I think, 14 or 15, y'all would be pissed off. Or had Erika said the same thing to Phoenix or Jagger, Dorit and PK would be ready to throw hands. Now, Lisa Rinna, I don't know, because we know Lisa's weird like that. But for Kyle and Mauricio to sit there, well, Kyle, Dorit, Mauricio, and PK to sit there and laugh that off, it was disgusting. And it starts to make people be like, okay, we know what it is when people like you think it's funny when Black boys or biracial kids get accosted by people. And like this one person said, y'all don't see little Black boys as children or kids. And that's exactly why Kyle, Dorit, PK, and Mauricio were joking about the situation. And that's just what it is. That's truly what it is. Y'all find it funny because y'all don't see these kids as people. Y'all don't, or y'all adultify them where it's like, oh, he's 14, but he's like, in your mind, he's a Black man. That's a child. And Erika is several decades older than him. She crossed the line, and we know for a fact, had Erika did that with anybody else's kids, y'all would be ready to fight, and the vibe would be so much different. Especially with Kyle, with her crying ass, talking about last season, I don't think I can be a good mother. So we know for a fact that you would have cried if Erika would have cussed out Portia. So miss me with that. And it's disgusting, like, that Dorita's like, I'm gonna give her a pass because those weren't my kids. So they crossed the line. Like, they crossed the line, and I hope, honestly, I really do hope that Erika, Sutton and Garcelle bring that elephant energy that destroyed that that burial in India, but with that lady who supposedly was like helping them steal her elephant babies. I hope they bring that energy. I hope they come to that reunion and they wreak havoc on all 4 of them: Lisa, Dorit, Erika, and Kyle. And I'm hurt because I like Dorit, but in this moment, Dorit really pissed me off because it's not funny. Because we know for a fact that Dorit would have went nuclear, like Diana said. I go nuclear. Had someone disrespected Jagger or Phoenix. We know for a fact she would. So then things got really interesting where a fan tweeted to Garcelle, at Garcelle B, did you know Kyle, Mauricio, Dorit, and PK had this conversation laughing off the appalling way Erika spoke to your child? Or did you learn this watching the episode? And Garcelle quote tweeted it saying, nope, never saw this scene until now. So I'm hoping she brings that energy. So then Kyle, once she got wind of everybody going off on her, she had to come and try to clear it up. And Kyle said this on Instagram. And I guess this was pinned on one of the blog pages that reposted the sneak peek as well. And she said, I was laughing about a friend's drunkenness, ridiculous behavior, not about disrespecting someone's child. I think you know me better than that by now. I wasn't even there to see this and only heard about Erika and what she said later. So I can somewhat get Kyle's grace because maybe they kind of made it in a joking way. But either way, it was still disrespectful, and nothing really was funny about her cussing at a child. Like, Erika was just out of line, and you got to call a spade a spade. And I really don't think that these ladies really care about Erika, because I would never let my friend go out this way. I would never. And now you got people calling for them to be fired and demoted. Like, people are pissed. Like, people are pissed off. So I think from this point on, Erika, Diane, Dorit, Lisa are going to be getting flamed every episode. Oh, and Kyle are going to be getting worked and flamed every episode because people are angry, y'all. Like, I've seen some really angry tweets. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Drop down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. And I'm out, y'all. Bye.